Shalom, shalom. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Today's title is called The Israelites Hidden in Plain Sight. The Bible speaks of two witnesses and just symbolic of the two tribes. It's really, 12 tribes, but split in half the northern and southern kingdom. So we are the Israelites that's hidden in plain sight. And why I chose the title "We're Hidden in Plain Sight," because that's pretty much what's going on. The so-called Jews that's in Israel today, they're not the real Jews. They're not the real Israelites. So the real Israelites, they're saying that they're lost tribes or whatever. But we're not lost. We just lost spiritually, and we don't know our true identity due to multiple times going to slavery and taking on our slave masters or oppressors' names and culture. So we're hidden. We don't know who we are. We're actually hidden in plain sight because we're scattered all over the world. So I'm going to start with this introduction. It just says, Shalom Israel, and thank you for gathering together this Sabbath day, and we'll discuss a popular myth regarding who are the Israelites, and we'll use the word of the Most High and historical text as evidence. We want to ask the Most High to add a blessing to the reading of this holy word as well. So keep that in mind. We are the Israelites, and we are hidden in plain sight. We're going to go through a lot of Bible history, showing how we get to this point, why we are hidden. Why aren't we in our pocket, in our right rulership, in our right mindset? So the first verses we're going to read is Psalms chapter 83, verse 1 through 12. Somebody just tell me who wrote Psalms so we can know exactly who's speaking. What's that? Psalm chapter 83, 1 through 12.
Psalms chapter 83, verse 1. Reads, Keep thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
So that's the key right there. See, the Lord has enemies, and since we are the children of the Lord, we inherited these same enemies. He said the enemies of God, they make a tumult. We're going to click on the word tumult. It says make a noise, an uproar. So what else after tumult, man?
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
So they lifted up their head against us and against the Most High. So we're at war spiritually and physically, and we don't even know. Just because who we are. And imagine you just walking around not knowing you didn't inherit this problem. And these are questions we used to ask ourselves. Like, why, no matter what, like we not doing nothing wrong, quote unquote, on the news, and the cops just beating you down like that. And it's systematic, it's generation oppression. Why? Because the enemies of the Most High, they made a tumult. And they're taking crafty counsel against who?
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
So we are the hidden. We're hidden from our heritage. We're hidden. We don't know who we are. We think they programmed us to think that they are the children of God. We're actually the children of God. Verse 4.
They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
So that's the key. They're sitting around having a meeting, and the main objective of the meeting is to figure out, to make sure that they cut us off from being a nation. And also what?
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That's why no matter where we were scattered at, we're taking on the names of those people. And also the religion of those people, the heritage of those people. This is not done by chance. They made sure this is a policy that they created. They can't call themselves Israelites no more. They have to be anything but an Israelite. Mormon, Methodist, Baptist, Catholic, Johnson, Jackson, whatever. Anything but your God-given name.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent, and they are confederate against thee.
So, like the United Nations of today. Nations coming together, they all on the 1%. But this is way back in the day. He's reading during the time of David. And he's gonna name who are these nations that's coming together against us.
Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom
The first one he mentioned, the Edomite,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelite.
of Moab and the Hagarims, Gebal, and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot, Salah.
So it's the same nations pretty much that making a tumult against us today. We just going back in the time to see when did it start. It didn't start right here, but this is just a snapshot proving that the same stuff that we're going through today, our forefathers went through. Same minute. People don't change.
Verse 9. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished and ended. They became as dung for the earth.
So David just asking the Lord to take them out for messing with his chosen people. Say, make them as the dung of the earth, just like the other nations he destroyed. Just how he did Egypt. We all know about the story of Egypt with the plagues. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Make their nobles like Morel and like Zeid. Yea, all the princes as Zabah and as Zalmunna. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
So these nations said they're going to do what? Take to themselves what?
Take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
What are the houses of God? What is a house according to the Bible? Families of God, which is us. And they taking us for a possession and scattered us all through the earth. So we trying to figure out how we are hidden in plain sight. We're going to also touch on why we are hidden in plain sight. We're going to go to Psalms 147. Read 2 verses, 19 and 20. Psalms 47, 19 to 20. Brothers, anytime you want to take over, just jump in. 19 through 20.
Psalm 147 and verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So this is one reason why the nations also hate us. Because the Most High only deal with on an instructional level, on a spiritual level, giving his commandments to Jacob. And Jacob is who? Heard his statutes and judgments unto us in verse 20.
He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise you, the Lord.
So he don't deal with them. And he don't judge them on the spot. Well, he don't judge them as the same way he judges us. We always make this analogy. If your kid's outside playing with the neighbor's kids or other kids outside, and you see your kid doing something wrong, you gonna go grab your kid out the pot and chastise him over that and correct him and tell him what to do. Because you're responsible for that kid. That's the same way the Most High do with us. He pulled us out of the pot of other people. He chastised us. He's our Father. He said he don't deal with any other nation. So we're going to move on to Deuteronomy chapter 30. And if I'm moving too fast or it's something I need to read over or explain a little more, please let me know. I'll be happy to. Deuteronomy 30. hidden in plain sight. Says why we are hidden in plain sight. So we're going through the who, what, when, and the how we even get to this point.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations."
Pause. So this, everybody know in Deuteronomy, that's where you can read all the ifs. If you do this, I'll bless you with this. If you don't do this, you'll be cursed with this. And this is for the whole nation of Israel. So he's saying when it come to pass, when all of these things come upon you, the blessing and the curse. So we now in the future process. You didn't have the good for doing what's right, you done went through the bad for disobeying the Most High. So he's saying when the blessings and the curses pass, which I've set before thee, and then thou shalt what?
And thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations.
So you start in the future time, all over the world, where the Israelites are scattered, you calling these blessings and curses and commandments to the Israelites all over the world. That's what the nations mean, because we scattered everywhere, y'all. We're not just in this nation.
Whether the Lord thy God is with thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thine soul.
That's what I look like I'm seeing today. I'm seeing, I can tell y'all know the commandments, y'all keep the commandments. I'm looking at people keeping the commandments. It's Saturday, y'all got on fringes, we coming together, having a holy convocation. We keeping these verses right here. Saying if they come to your remembrance and you start keeping the laws and you teach them to your children, you're doing it with all your heart and your soul. Verse 3.
That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity.
So if we start doing this, imagine we gradually as a nation start doing this. The Lord gonna do what?
Will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee.
So that's the key, man. I don't know if everybody know the end goal, but the end goal is for us to start making changes as a nation drastically to the point where the Most High said, all right, they learned their lesson. Sky rolled back. All of us scattered. We like salt, spread it on a plate. Imagine the plate of the world. We like salt, just scatter, sprinkle. So all the ones that we start doing what's right, we grow bigger in numbers all over the world. You're going to say, that's enough. They learned their lesson. He's going to have compassion and return us back into the land that he promised us and our forefathers. So we doing 1 and 2, but we hoping to grow and continue to do 1 and 2 to the point where we get to the third verse. Verse 4.
If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. So
he's saying it don't matter if you scatter to the outermost part of heaven, meaning, for example, America would be the most outermost part of heaven. Heaven would be Jerusalem, from where they talking about. You scatter from the farthest lands away from Jerusalem. That ain't a big thing to the Most High. He's still gonna get you. If you're on a remote island, said he'll fetch thee.
Verse 5, and the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers.
So it's going to even be better than the day when our fathers was ruling. Verse 6.
Certain in the heart of thy seed to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul that thou mayest live.
So he's going to do all of this for us. But the key is, he said, was to remember the blessings and the curses, the rights and the wrongs, and do what's right. We got to start with that. And teach our kids, as I can see we doing that, and then teach our brothers and sisters that want to learn. You just got to be slick about it. We ain't got to beat them upside the head with the Bible or saying you're going to hell if you don't do this and do that. We got to, depending on who you're talking to, you got to be Like the Bible say, wise is a serpent, but harmless is the dove. You gotta know who you talking to and how to reach that brother. So verse 8.
And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day.
You gotta be obedient.
And the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land for good. For the Lord will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy father.
So hey, we do the right thing, he gonna hook us up. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. We're gonna really learn what black, quote unquote, black power is, or Native American power is. We think those little million man marches is doing something. When we have the whole world into our subjection, that's when it's really gonna pop up. And they know that. They know history. They read the Bible. That's why we going through what we're going through. They gotta continue to oppress us, putting stuff in our foods and our bodies and stuff, to try to keep us down at a lower state. So verse 10.
If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul.
Hey, all you gotta do is pick up the Bible, read, educate yourself, and learn what the do's and don'ts to do. That's it. He say, keep the commandments written in the book of the law. We got everything we need to get the ball rolling, y'all. And it's been in our house all these years. Grew up with it. Love it.
For this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off.
You don't need to go to some Buddhist monk or priest or great-granddad. It's not hidden for. It's right there. Like I said, it's on the table.
It is not in heaven that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to that, and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it.
That's how people live, man. They'll say stuff like that. Like I said, it's right there in front of you this whole time. But we doing everything but picking up the book.
Hidden in plain sight.
That's definitely hidden in plain sight. That's a great analogy.
Verse 14. But the word is very nigh unto thee,
Been there the whole time.
in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
So people question like if God is real, why he let such and such happen and this and that. Look, the Most High said it before you to this day. And this is for every Israelite that's out there. Life and death, good and evil. It's up to you. 16.
In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply.
It's up to you to keep this end of the bar. If you want what's good, keep that end of the bar.
And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whether thou goest to possess it.
This land here, man, I don't know if y'all know it or not. Wherever we scattered, that ain't in Israel. It's not our land, man. We were scattered there for wrongdoing. The only reason why we're here is to remember ourselves and practice the righteous acts. And then once you see we in line, he'll take us back. But this ain't home. Remember that and teach your kids that. Because they'll get caught in there. They won't remember where home is. They won't even be trying to go back home.
Verse 17. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them.
That but is where the majority of us are at today. We don't want to hear the word. We ain't drawn to the word. We worshiping other gods. It ain't even got to be an physical item you bow down and worship to. We got to be honest, mental idols out here, spiritual idols out here. Money is an idol for some people. Women is an idol for some men. Even women.
Verse 18. I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish.
The Lord said, hey, you don't keep that in the bargain, you're going to die.
And that And ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, and without passing over Jordan to go to possess it.
So he's talking about going to our promise, our land that we're supposed to possess. We're not there, right? We scattered everywhere but there, and some imposters is in there right now. We just reading over all the verses explaining why we not there no more. Why we scattered, why we hidden in plain sight. We picked the second end of the bar. We ain't want to deal with the word no more. We start creating our own idols, or start worshiping the idols of the heathen. And that's what America is, and that's what all these churches is, pretty much. They got there's an obelisk at the top of the churches, each and every church. They got the crosses in the churches. It's on Sunday because they worship in the sun. That's why they got those window panes letting the sun in. They be having sunrise service. So they got all these pagan symbolic things in our quote unquote religion, which is modern day Christianity. We just falling back into the old worship of back in the day. These old idols. So hey, we got a witness. The Lord had a witness out there, and the witness is who on verse 19?
Verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Let's go for us to this day. Each generation gonna have the same thing that they're gonna have to choose. They're gonna either go left or right. 20.
That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice.
He wants you to choose the right option. He wants you to love the Lord and obey his voice.
That thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days. That thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
So I want to thank the Most High for all us being in here today. We taking the right steps, and we gotta continue walking in those steps. Meaning, keeping the Word of God, learning the Word of God, educating others. So we're gonna go to 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 6 through 20. And it says, the heathens moving in our land. Because the heathens are in our land right now to this day. The heathens was already in that land before we got there, but the Lord was wiping them out. Some of them stayed because we was loving the heathens and we spared them when we weren't supposed to. But this is more heathens moving into the land.
2 Kings 17, verse 6. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in Habor, by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. So
the northern kingdom was going into captivity in Samaria because of their wickedness, because of their worshiping idols, and not keeping the law.
For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of the other heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel which they had made.
So he told them what they did wrong. They started walking after the statues of the heathen. So we got the same problem to this day. The only difference is that at least they had their own land. Imagine us, we scattered all over the world, in other lands, being raised to what? Learn and follow heathen customs. We know the heathen customs better than we don't even know our own customs. If you start asking our brothers and sisters about feast days, they don't know these feast days, but they know Christmas.
For example, what's this weekend? Labor Day.
Yeah.
So a lot of people during this time, they're going to barbecue pits out. They're going to, kind of families over. They're going to do, whatever Labor Day.
They looking forward to Labor Day.
Not knowing that ain't got nothing to do with your group. You know what I mean? So
you got a feast day coming up.
They don't know nothing about it.
So even in education, by television, by culture, just by living in all these languages, we are learning the ways of the heathen and following
They
them.
start learning it at the age of the kids, the small kids. That's when they start learning it. They push it and push it. From that young age, and that way by the time they're in middle school, high school, the kids looking at you crazy if you're not keeping it together. They're like, we celebrating this in class. Why we not doing this? So they start young, man. That's why it's important. That's why he kept telling us to tell our children and teach them and train them up. Because otherwise they'll catch.
They'll become chocolate covered
Right.
heathens. That's it.
Being that we all work all day, so your kids spend the majority of the time in school. There's little time at home, really, to be honest with you. So they learning everything from them. Exactly. So that's why we got to work twice as hard to try to keep them, somewhat
Same.
to the knowledge. You know what I mean? Because they can get lost quick and easy.
So the Northern Kingdom, once again, that's what we're reading about, and they learning the ways of the heathen. They don't want to follow the statutes of God no more, or the Most High no more. Excuse me.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their God. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
So they started building high places, meaning places of worship, in all the cities. And that's what we have, right? Where we stay at, there ain't nothing but churches on every corner. Churches and liquor store. But we ain't teaching them thus say the Lord.
Verse 10. And they
Hold
said,
up. I'm supposed to be reading to. I'm sorry. Excuse me, good.
verse 10. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree.
Like I said, the church full of these images.
And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord's anger.
So they start putting heathen customs in their places of worship. And that's what's going on in these modern day churches today. They got heathen customs tied to, but they got the Bible as their base.
They mix in the 5 things with the clean things.
It ain't gonna work, man.
Verse 12. For they served idols, whereof the Lord has said unto them, ye shall not do this thing. That's a commandment. Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah.
So who is this all he's talking about? We gotta keep this in mind. The Bible ain't talking about all these other nations when they talking about stories and stuff. Now at certain points they may be talking about the other nations. But what he's saying right now is this is all based on Israel and Judah. The northern tribes and the southern tribes. Verse 13 again.
Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets.
So he's saying he sent all these people to just tell y'all to keep the law. But 14, did they listen?
Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks like to the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Lord their God.
And that's what the majority of our brothers and sisters do. They hard-headed. They stiff-necked. Thank God that y'all brothers and sisters met up and nobody was hard, stiff-necked. We all love the Most High. Sure, we can come together and keep the Sabbath. What's wrong with that? But there's a lot of brothers that ain't gonna have that spirit. So, 15.
Verse 15. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity.
And they follow vanity. That's all that's on TV right now. That's all what's going on in these religious churches. Vanity. There's so much vain customs in the Catholic Church, man. They stand up, bowing down 50 times. Hail Mary, Mother of Grace. Like they doing stuff that ain't nowhere in the Bible. And if you ask them why they doing it, just shut up and sit back down. Like, you can't even ask them questions. Well, why were you doing this? When did Jesus do this? Or when did any of the prophets do any of this? They followed vanity. They threw away all the stuff that made sense and started following fools. It became what?
And became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them, that they should not do like
The
them.
Lord commanded us we shouldn't be heathen. We shouldn't follow their way. That's why, remember, we're hidden in plain sight. That's why we're looking like heathens out here in the world. And acting like heathens out here in the world. It's certain stuff I see now, that's how I know I'm getting older. Like, man, we never did that. Black folk ain't never did that. Like, when did we join in with this stupid stuff? For example, like black dudes jumping in a mosh pit. What's up, man? Like, when did black people start doing some crap like that? we going deeper and deeper in the heathen custom and losing our true identity and being hidden in plain sight deeper and deeper. 16.
16. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal.
So they went back to the same false gods that they was dealing with back in Egypt. And they 17.
And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and use divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
So this was Israel at that time, but Judah, further down the line, started doing the same foolishness. 19 gonna prove it.
Also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made.
They followed Israel into the stupidity. So hey y'all, we got a big job to do. There's a lot of us still out here following the heathen customs. We gotta wake them up out their sleep, like that movie. What's the Get Out? Yeah, we gotta wake them up, man. It ain't nothing but about chocolate covered heathens. They gotta wake up.
Verse 20. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight.
So he casted us out of his sight, out of the land of Jerusalem, out of Israel. He cast us out a little further, like right by Israel. Then we went in another captivity, a little further out, then another captivity, a little further out. So now, right now, we in the big captivity, the last captivity. We scattered way out. They call this the New World. This the other side of the world that mankind never knew about. So we're going to pick it up a little bit. Let's see how long it's been. It's been 33 minutes so far.
Down to 23 and 24.
Same verse. Verse 23 and 24.
Says, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants and prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. So,
hey, he said this by all his servants and prophets. Man, we've been warned each and every time. We just continue to choose the wrong way. 24.
And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Kedah, and from Abad, and from Hamath, and from Sephardim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel.
So after they moved us out the land, he started bringing in heathens into our land. And that's how they in this land to this day. After the year 70 AD, the destruction of the siege of Jerusalem, we scattered and running for our lives. Other nations start going in there. And now they claiming they wearing our clothes. It's like you going to Michael Jackson's house and you see the glitter glove and wig, a Jerry Curl wig, some shoes. You trying it on, you playing now. You saying I'm Michael now. You trying to fool people into saying you actually Michael. Just because you in his house and got his clothes and everything. That's what they doing us, y'all.
And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof.
So hey, y'all. That's just showing how we get here. And once of how we got to this land, who started coming into this land? Calling themselves the children of Israel. So we're gonna go to the Apocrypha, 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 1 through 11. This is showing how we're learning once again, or refreshing, how we get to be hidden in plain sight. This is during the time the Greeks started pressing us, the Roman Empire started pressing us. So 1 through 11.
2 Maccabees 6, check out verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the law of their fathers.
So Athens is in Greece. They had Israelites in Greece during that time, all the way down to Jerusalem, our homeland. So this king of another heathen land, he said he sent the old man to Athens. I mean, that's proof that we was in Athens in Greece. And he wanted us to do what? The old man of Athens
to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
So hey, whatever you do, break that up, man. No more keeping the laws.
Why would they be wanting to do that? What's the reason they want us to go away from the laws?
Because we read Deuteronomy 30, if we do what's right, we gonna rule everything, right? We gonna receive the blessing. But if we don't do what the Lord commanded us, we gonna receive the curse. And the heathens are gonna take us into captivity. That's what Deuteronomy 30 said. So they saying, hey, we gotta make sure they do the second option. So verse 2.
Verse 2. And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius.
So hey, we ain't gonna call it the temple of the Most High no more. We're gonna call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, which is some false god, some idol that the heathens got.
And that in Gazium of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
And this will remind me of the Sabbath day. How the heathens say, hey, we're gonna break this up. They ain't gonna be following the Sabbath day no more. We're gonna make them worship on the first day, not the seventh day. And because that's the day that the heathen dedicated to the sun.
As they did desire, they dwelt in the place. Verse 3.
So hold on. They're gonna call this temple the Jupiter Olympius, the defender of strangers. Who are the strangers? Exactly. So they done took our place of worship, threw a heathen on top of it, and said, we're gonna call this place the defender of the heathen. Our place. And make you worship them. That's how they do y'all, make you stand to the flag and pledge your allegiance to this cloth that's just a symbolic gesture of oppression for us, to us. To them it means something else, them conquering the world. But they make you stand. If you don't stand, you're going to get in trouble. Even though we got laws created to say you don't even understand. Now you catching hell because you don't want to fall in line with this vanity. But verse 3, sorry about getting off.
Verse 3. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people.
So stuff started going downhill because it ain't right.
For the temple was filled with riot and revelings by the Gentiles.
So the Gentiles started coming in the place of worship, and it was filled with what?
Riot and revelings.
Foolishness. And that's how it is, right? Once you let them in your organization, it started going downhill.
who dallied with harlots.
So now they having promiscuous sex, all in the church.
And had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places.
And they started sleeping with the women in the congregation. That's what they had to do with women within the circuit of the holy place. This is a holy place. And this foolishness going on, among other things.
And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. So,
They bringing in things that ain't lawful. For example, pork. It's another story how they put a pig in the altar. It's trying to dedicate the pig inside the place of worship. That's what's going on. That's how we get to the point where we is today. Where the churches, they got all these customs and you learning everything, but you're an Israelite and follow these laws. The heathens made sure whatever we do, we can make sure that they ain't following these laws.
verse 5. The altar also was filled with profane things which the law forbid.
They bringing this man in to tear us down, man. That's why when you go to anywhere, it's basically bacon on all these burgers and stuff. Seafood is popular. That ain't nothing but a roach in the water, pretty much. But that's considered a delicacy in this country. This is why, y'all, they want us to get in this mess. Because the Lord forbid us to do these things.
Verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So it was against the law, and they made sure of this. You couldn't call yourself a Jew. You couldn't keep the Sabbath days. You couldn't fast. You couldn't say you were a Jew. You started calling yourself Negro, Greeks, whatever, Egyptians, anything but an Israelite. The heathens made sure of it. And this is why they took the Apocrypha out of the Bible, because this is historical evidence. 7.
Verse 7. And in the day of the king's birth every month, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the fast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go into procession to Bacchus carrying idols.
So hey, they made sure we worship the king's birthday every month. Now we worship birthdays yearly.
Verse 8.
But they said they were brought by bitter constraint. They didn't want to do it. They were our forefathers was forced to do this, man. Now we're not forced to do this stuff. We love it. Christmas is the best time of the year to our people. We playing in June and July for these days, man. There ain't no bitter constraint. We've been brainwashed to the point we like a trained dog.
That's coming up.
Imagine just all the money we put keeping our oppressors afloat. They depend on it. Verse 8.
Verse 8. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of brutality against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
So it wasn't just in Athens. They spread this law. This is what's going to be. And this is what we dealing with. This is why it don't matter if you move to Mexico or you move to Chicago or you move to Miami, you dealing with the same foolishness. Because this is spread it out. We're going to make sure it is. One world order. This is the real one world order. And the order is to make sure the Israelites don't stand on top again. This is a hidden secret that's hidden in plain sight, y'all.
Verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
So it wasn't no, I'm going to do what I want to do. You're going to be put to death.
Then might a man have seen the present misery.
That was, hey, we kind of lucky. We going through hell right now, but to be alive in that time, where it was life or death, where, hey, you keeping the law, kill them. It was during those times, where the heathens was basically getting it popped.
Verse 10. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led round about the city, the babes handing out at their breasts, that it says they cast them down headlong from the wall.
2 Israelite sisters showing the world that hey, I'm gonna circumcise my kids, I'm gonna keep the law. After they told them not to do it. They took those 2 ladies and their babies and did what? They cast them down head first from the wall, in front of everybody, to make an example of it. To do what? To strike fear to the rest of them. Now you try to circumcise your kids and see what happened to you and yours. And that's what they did to us back in slavery. Took a pregnant woman, tied her legs up by 2 horses, hit the horses to make them go opposite ways, and the baby would just rip out through the leg stomach. To invoke fear to the other slaves so they don't try to leave. So we dealing, man, we got to deal with a lot, y'all. But the key is, that's why we read Deuteronomy to be obedient. And we can overcome this. So, we're going to keep going, y'all. We're going to go down to the next verse. Y'all get the point, man. We do have enemies out here. I'm not saying pick up a gun, fight nobody, hit nobody, because you in the land of your oppressor. And God and the Most High wanted you in this land. But you in this land to change your life and to know exactly who you are. And to build up your people. And He gonna do the fight. He gonna give you a spiritual body where there ain't gonna be no competition. So we are moving down to 2 Timothy, chapter 2, 14 through 15. Second Timothy chapter 2, 14 through 15. I'll read that. Verse 14. Of these things, and this is what we're commanded to do. Of these things, put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord, that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers. So he's basically saying, hey, we got to keep this in mind. He's saying, put them in remembrance. Meaning this should be part of the message that you spread to your brothers and sisters. Charge them. Make sure that they know this. That they strive not about words of no profit. Because it can be things that don't have nothing to do with the Most High or things of no profit. It ain't going to better no one in this situation that we could be arguing about. Or we may be arguing about. But he's saying don't do that. He's saying charge them to make sure they don't do that. But we should be subverting of the hearers, meaning trying to change their lives. That's what subverting means. Demolition, to overthrow, to subvert, to cast away from the wrong that they're doing. We in the changing life business. So that's why he's saying we learning how to get to this point. We learning what we need to do to get back into our royal place. And this is one of the things that we need to do. Don't get caught up in because, man, we got a lot of foolish people in Israel, like sports-wise. Man, I done seen brothers go at their neck over LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. LeBron James versus... It be all in the news. Somebody that got shot over an argument over there at a barbershop. Got a picture of a man got no hair, like we ever seen hairline, damn near 40-something. And you up here, you got worked up to the point where you pull a pistol out and shot somebody in the public place. Triple murder. Striving over some words of no problem, man. So keep this stuff in mind. I know we know we Israelites, so we ain't up to that point of stupidity no more. But to our brothers and sisters that's in there, like they got some people that die hard wrestling fans. It's just a lot of stupidity living in America that you can get caught into. And our people is head first into. I'm talking about grown men, kids. Y'all gonna know, man. Like how when you was a kid, you used to run around in the drawers and play wrestling and all that. We got grown people still with this mindset, right? That's what I'm trying to say, man. Don't get caught up in that. Grow up. Leave that for the kids, man. Excuse me, verse 15. And also to study, to show thyself approved unto who? God. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Explain that to him, man.
Like you say, study. So we gotta be students. We gotta study to the word. The only way to do that, like you said, is pick up the word, read it. Basically, sharpen the sword with your brothers and sisters. You know, those, instead of verse 14 arguing about things that's foolish, like you were saying. If we do 15 instead, we should be actually speaking and talking the word with each other. So, for example, if one of the brothers are hanging out or doing something or whatever, or the sister's doing the same, instead of y'all talking about things that's vain, let's bring up scripture. Let's talk scripture and sharpen the sword, because that's the only way that's gonna, that we're going to be able to make it through these different temptations that's going to come up, different trials, tribulations that's going to come up. Otherwise, you're just going to be just like the next person, Arkansas, and,
Touch on that workman not to be ashamed.
And so, when you study and you show yourself approved, now you don't have to be ashamed because you know how to rightly divide the word of truth at that point.
Because how you felt, I don't know if y'all grew up in the churches. Because I was born and raised in the Baptist church in the hood. But the moment, how you felt when you realized that you've been doing all this crap that you didn't want to do, mama been making you, dragging you every Sunday, you ain't never even want to go. They been making you do all that and it's been wrong with God the whole time. You felt ashamed. You start having questions. Like, I want to talk to mom, I want to talk to dad, I want to talk to the preacher. You were ashamed of this, man. This is pure stupidity. When you found out that the heathens, this is some heathenistic stuff you followed. When you had the true word of God, you were God's people the whole time. You were ashamed, man.
So now, knowing the truth or studying now, you showing yourself approved. Now you're not ashamed to speak the word. You actually know what you're talking about now. You can actually break down the scripture, and, you know, show somebody what it actually means, so you know how to rightly divide the word of truth. It's a certain way you got to be preaching about it. And if you're not keeping the commandments, number one, he's not going to give you an understanding of the word. It's not even he's not even going to open your mind to receive it like it's supposed to be. Because you can, I've literally spoken to brothers, whether it be at my job, wherever, you know, wherever. Show them the same scriptures we read all the time. They don't understand plain English. But being rich, they don't understand keeping the commandments.
That's scary too. That's scary.
That's how the Lord got a blind on it.
I bet you if y'all were talking about something vain and foolishness,
They can tell you,
he'll break it down.
2 years ago for some no name in the NBA. Oh yeah, he averaged such.
So you tell them, you show them in the Bible, eating pork is a sin. They just can't wrap their head where everybody eats. Like, they got a big excuse on why what you just read. Clean out the Bible is wrong. So we're going to move on to Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. Just one verse. So when you start trying to wake the Israelites up that's hidden in plain sight, you might have to deal with this type of stuff, y'all. So don't get mad when you have to deal with it.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Paul is asking the Galatians, which is the scattered Israelites in the land of Galatia, am I your enemy because I tell you the truth? People don't want to bow down to the flag because it's a form of oppression. Now they got all these enemies. You're going to have enemies just for doing what's right and what's wrong. What's right and telling people don't do what's wrong and telling people the truth. Because if I'm telling you you're an Israelite, the first question in your head would be, well, who in the heck are these people over here calling themselves Israelites? So guess what? Now you they enemy because you outnumbered. All you trying to do is show a brother they true identity. So and then you might have enemies of your own people because they may love Christians or they may love. They don't want you to tear down the things that the modern day foolishness that's pretty much popular. The status quo. So you become the enemy. So hey, wear that enemy badge with pride. I'll be happy. Hey, call me a Grinch that stole Christmas. Buy humbug. I don't care. I'm wearing it in pride. Because hey, we read Deuteronomy 30, all these good things that's gonna happen if I do what's right. And we're really waiting on a certain number of us to gradually increase so we can hurry and get out of here. I don't want to be here too long. I'm trying to wake up as many people as I can so we can go back to our rightful rulership. So hey, wear that badge of pride and know, hey, it ain't gonna be peaches and cream. We all probably got our stories of how we tried to wake up a brother when we first got the good news and we ran to go spread it. Just to find out that hey, everybody ain't on that level. Right. So Acts chapter 1. Verse 6 through 9. This is when some of the disciples was asking Christ a question. It's a good question too.
Acts 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel, kingdom to Israel?
So hey, these boys had their mind right. They asking Christ, hey, are you coming back? Because he's supposed to come back, right, and gather the scattered Israelites and bring them back to the land. So they thought he was going to come right now and do this. But they didn't know that he had to die and rise again, all of that first. So they asked the question, hey, is this the time? Verse 7.
So verse 7. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power.
So kids, when y'all gonna, this is really for the kids, because we done lived through this stupid stuff, the end of the world 2000 and kids, they gonna be rumors saying, hey, the world gonna explode in a year, 2 years, and 3 years. Jesus told his disciples, hey, it ain't for us to know when the end of this world, but the world ain't gonna end. It ain't like the clock gonna stop and we all gonna evaporate and nothing like that. It's just the end of the oppressors ruling the world. And it's gonna be a new age, like you said, where we rule the world. Excuse me? Yeah, the world as we know it. Gone in. So hey, they like, hey, is this the time? He said, hey, it ain't for you to know. Well, only the Father knows. Christ don't even know this. So kids, don't get caught up into that foolishness. And grown people too. Because my son came to me, and he know the words, he know the commandments. He came to me asking when the world gonna end. Because some kids at school saying it's gonna end in such and such year. April 24th of this year?
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah, that's for this.
So kids, now y'all know, when y'all hear that stupid stuff, y'all know y'all can run the Acts, chapter 1, verse 7, and realize, hey, heathens, y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
Nobody has time.
Nobody. Christ don't. He sit back waiting on the chauffeur to blow so he can get it popped.
8. When ye shall receive power, after that the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem, and in all Judea, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
So he's saying before this time can happen, before we rule the earth, we got to get the Holy Ghost. We got to be witnesses in him in the Holy Land, and then even if you scattered on the uttermost parts of the earth, And I just told y'all, we scattered on the othermost parts of the earth. That's when, and we become witnesses to Christ. That's when the end of this world is known, and the kingdom will be established back to Israel.
Right.
So he said those things, and then this happened, verse 9.
And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
So that was literally his last words to his 12 disciples. Saying, hey, spread this word, spread it even to the othermost parts of the earth, because the Israelites can be scattered everywhere, all over the earth. And once we reach that certain number, we good. He said he was taken up. We've seen these movies like E.T. and Star Trek, whatever, where people get beamed up. And instead of we call it an unidentified flying object. But they call it a cloud in the Bible. Because they ain't never seen nothing like that. They ain't have a scientific name to give it. They just call it a cloud. The cloud took them up in the air. And we ain't see him no more. So he was received out of their sight. So hey, if y'all ain't know, UFOs in the Bible. They just call it different things. They call it a cloud. Cloud by day, fire by night. UFO is only an unidentified flying object. Something you ain't never seen in your life. You don't know what to call it. You're going to shorten it up and call it a UFO. So, we're going to move down to Revelation, chapter 11, verse 3. We're almost at the end. Thank y'all for being patient. So, Revelations 11, verse 3. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. 2 witnesses symbolizes the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. We're the true prophets. You can't go to Joel Osteen. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I mean the northern kingdom, which is the Native American, Mexican, Hispanic, of Israelite descent. In the southern kingdom, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, all the dark and Negro tribes are scattered all over the world. We scattered everywhere. There's more lands than just the 12 tribes chart that they got. We scattered everywhere in the earth. They literally, we got slaves, like we've been slaves, and slaves had kids, and kids had kids, and kids. The bloodline never died. You may start to look like certain people because you maybe married a heathen in India, but you still an Israelite. Look at Blake Griffin, for an example. It's hell. Look how he came up. But y'all see his kids? Hold on. His kids ain't gonna know they Israelite, but they Israelite.
Because he married
He married a Caucasian lady.
So now when you mix, that's how it would happen. You mix and mingle so many times.
Oh, I put Black Griffin.
The features, the Israelite features and all of that. You really don't know who you are.
Why you say don't marry the heathen? So look at his kid. But if you look at his daddy, and how many generations did that take to get washed out of that fat? Look at his daddy and now look at his grandson. Look how fast. Yeah, look at the Jackson. Big nappy afro, big nose, lips, the whole nine, Israel to a T. Now they look like they from the middle Mediterranean or somewhere, man. Like, what the hell is going on with our people? That's why the Lord made these commandments, because you still God's people. He still love that little boy, the Most High. That little boy ain't had nothing to do with that. But guess what? It's going to be hard for him to learn he is Israelite. Because he being raised by the heathen, he learning all the heathen customs. He looked like a heathen. So stay away from all that madness, But our people, we push it further and further into the madness.
I'm trying to tell the brother my job about mixing and all of that. And I tried to give him an example about I said really humans or not humans, pets sometimes are smarter than humans in a lot of ways because I said that's kind of like a dog going around mixing with cats. I'm like you wouldn't see that you wouldn't see no dog and no cat walking down the street together talking about they married or whatnot, or like a bear and a lion together. It's like even the animals don't stick with your own kind of, you know what I mean? But we as people, we in a big melting pot. This is a big melting pot. So we got every
We treat our own kind like crap. Get with a heathen lady. Give her the world. Change her life. Heathen trash. I'm talking about straight truck trash. A lady that just been with you your whole life. Y'all done went through all thick and thin. Hey, let's move on, man. Verse 7, Revelation 11, 7 through 12. We still talking about the two witnesses, which is the northern tribe and the southern tribe.
Verse 7. And when they have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them.
That's when we went into slavery. They are the beasts from the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit was those Caucasus Mountains in Europe. So they came out of there and made war against us and they started killing them spiritually, mentally.
And verse 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Now, what country is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt?
What is Sodom represent? What was going on with Sodom? Exactly. So
What great country you can go to and sleep with many homosexuals you want, to the point where we got New York's and Atlanta's and San Francisco, where they got a whole city that's known for that.
Using the covenant for their flag.
Right.
The rainbow.
They took something dedicated to the Most High and used it as they symbol. And the Most High hate that act.
They said also Egypt. So what does Egypt represent?
That's why we got all these Egyptian monuments on this side of the land. That's why we got cities like Memphis.
Back in the dollar, what you see, pyramids. Why would the pyramid go back in the American dollar? You know, it makes sense, but if you know history, it do make sense. It's all the same.
So what country is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt? This country. And they said these two witnesses that died, dead bodies gonna be in the street against this great city or this great country. Meaning that's where we at, all over this country. Our bodies lying in the street. We ain't dead per se in the streets, but we are dead in these streets. Spiritually dead. The Walking Dead, like the TV show. That's where we are.
And it says, well, also our Lord was crucified. Meaning what? So that we could go a lot of different things. How has the Lord been crucified in this spiritual side of the
That they the one pushing, and our people was brought to this man, the Lord's people. They crucified him.
crucified his image though,
His image, his law.
his law, everything. So they done pretty much wiped away the God and the Christ of his Bible and then made up a God and said this is who it is. They worship Caesar Borgia.
To the point where the whole world trying to come here and live this lifestyle. People on rafts and boats getting hit by any means just to have a piece of this wicked nature.
Verse 9. And they of the people and kindred and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
So a day with the Lord, 1,000 years. So we're gonna be in this land. The world gonna, everybody, that's what they see in the news. Our dead bodies lying in the streets. You talking about the other nations. day of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations gonna see our dead body. Everybody just seeing us get oppressed, going through hell, and nobody doing nothing about it. They just eating popcorn on the sideline, watching the big play.
Verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth.
So why people give gifts during the fake holy day season and make merry, give gifts one to another? Because they got the two prophets under subjection that tormented them. But we don't know that. We used to be out there just giving gifts during the holiday season, knowing that Christ was born on December 25th, knowing the Christmas tree ain't got nothing to do with the birth of Christ. But they really giving gifts to each other, celebrating that they didn't overcome us. Because we used to torment them. Torment them. We used to torment them. They used to have to follow our way.
Verse,
But hey, verse 11 gonna say what's gonna happen in the land of spiritual Sodom and Egypt at the end.
and after 3 days, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life of God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet.
So these people that's dead in these streets, that's hidden in plain sight, the Spirit of God gonna start coming to these people. They're gonna start remembering themselves. They're gonna start choosing life over death. They're gonna start keeping the laws of God and spreading the laws of God. And they're gonna start standing on their feet. Now, when you ain't keeping the laws, you spiritually dead. When you start doing the laws of God, you start being upright. You start standing on your feet. So when we read these scriptures, we gotta understand what it's saying, and that's why we're taking our time and breaking it down, because
This word is the spirit of God.
there's a lot of parables in Revelation. So that's what y'all doing right now. In the land of spirits, it's called spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Y'all remembering yourselves, y'all doing what's right, and y'all standing up, and now the heathen starting to see them. Read the rest of the fear of God.
And great fear fell upon them which saw them.
So now the nation's seeing you wearing fringes, seeing you having natural hair, seeing your kids not acting like fools in public, like the other kids doing. Guess what the other nation's doing?
Scared.
Great fear is falling on them right now.
Why?
Where your fringes at work one day? You'll see great fear. They start asking questions. You a Jew? You Jewish? You Muslim? Anything a beard, you Muslim? I don't want to eat no pork. You Muslim? Anything. Like, they got questions. What is it? What's going on? Oh, he know he a Jew. We got one. Damn. If we get close to the end of the world, y'all. You want pork? Yeah, like, you want pork on your plate? No. That's a test. They just tested you. No, brother, I don't eat pork. Running out of time. We got to ramp it up. Put out another Young Thug. Put out anything. Hey, we reach the kids with it. Get them earlier. Put it in Sesame Street. Anything. We got to counteract they movement. We got a spiritual war, y'all. The enemy's made a tumult. So we're going to move to Ezekiel. Psalm 78, 1 through 8. We at the very end, y'all. Psalm 78, 1 through 8. We ain't gonna be hidden in plain sight no more. We gonna start stepping out in numbers.
Psalm chapter 78.
Yep, 1 through 8.
Verse 1. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us.
So hey, beat the law people is like your family members, your kids. Teach them these laws, y'all. Because like I said, we learn in the heathen ways damn near 20 hours a day. And we learn the laws of the Most High one day out the week for 2 hours. So we gotta start teaching our kids. And I'm looking at people that's teaching their kids. I can see it in their kids. So y'all follow these laws, but we gotta keep passing it down.
Verse 4. We will not hide them from their children.
Say that again, man.
We will not hide them from their children.
All praise to the Most High, man. We ain't gonna wait till they're 8, 9 years old and then tell them Christmas ain't real. This is what it is. Hey, we gonna teach them the truth. Jump Street.
Showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord and his strength and his wonderful works that he has done.
You get to the problem early, you gotta get right early.
Verse 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law of Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children.
This is the law. So make time out. If you're not doing it already, hey, start with something light. Start with the Lord's Prayer. Work like, you ain't got to sit up there and teach them all the oracle of God at 6, 7, 8 years old. But you can teach them, say the Lord's Prayer, or say your prayers at night. Just a little thing. And then gradually build them up as they grow.
Verse 6. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which shall be born, who should arise and declare them to their children.
Heaven forbid I die. I know I've been putting in enough work to my son where if he don't know the scriptures, he know where to find. He know he need to dig in his book and learn what's right from wrong. So hey, this is how we be better as a generation, as the next bloodline.
Instead of passing on the curses to our people, we should be passing on the blessings to them. So if you keep the laws, that's how you know you're going to be able to come back to life.
So verse 7.
That they might set their hope in God and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments.
That's the whole key.
We have forgotten.
We'll have a whole fall God. Sunday work. There's no way in the Bible. That should be your first clue to get up out of there, man. Why we having church on the first day when he said he sanctified the 7th day? If you can't give me that answer, I'm out of here. But we create our own stuff, our own madness, follow the ways of the heathen. We don't set our hope in God no more. We put our hope in ourselves, money, anything. Gambling. And we forget the works of God, but we need to keep the commandments.
Verse 8. And might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with God.
So while we hidden in plain sight, our forefathers, meaning the ones before us, who knew right from wrong, they chose wrong, they became stubborn, rebellious, their heart wasn't right, their spirit wasn't right, they didn't care about the Most High. So now we're going through hell, they took our identity, they stripped us of everything that's rightfully ours, and made us slaves for the other nation. But now we know why, and we know who we are, and we know what we got to do to get back right with God and to get our rightful position. So we ain't got to read now. Ezekiel chapter 18, it's 2 verses 30 through 32. Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 30 through 32. And this is the key. We've been reading it all day. But this is just proof that everybody is hearing these same words. Shalom, sister. Shalom. Shalom. So we're going to read Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 30 through 32.
Ezekiel 18, verse 30. Therefore I will judge you, O house of Israel, every one according to his ways, saith the Lord God. Repent and turn yourselves from all your transgressions, so iniquity shall not be your ruin.
So all he wants you to do, man, hey, is repent, turn away from transgressions, meaning doing what he told you not to do. Turn that away, because he said if you continue on, that's gonna be your ruin, and that's why we continue to fall into a bigger hole as a people. We keep adding iniquity, we keep adding sin as a whole. So hey, just choose to do what's right.
Cast away from you all your transgressions, whereby ye have transgressed, and make you a new heart and a new spirit. For why will you die, O house of Israel?
Why we choose death is what he's saying. He's saying, hey, do the right thing. Change your life. A new mind, a new spirit. Let that old man go. You was an old thug, an old thief, an old liar back in the day. Let all that foolishness go. It ain't worth it. Get a new heart, a new spirit. I'm going to follow the Most High. And I'm going to teach the laws to my kids like we just read. You choosing life. Why would you choose death? And who he asking that question to?
O house of
The
Israel.
whole house of Israel. Stay focused. Make this all about us. Don't ask me what about the heathen. Who cares about the heathen? The Most High ain't asking about the heathen. He asking about us.
32. For I have no pleasure in the death of him that died, saith the Lord God. Wherefore turn yourselves and live ye.
That's all he wants us to do, man. Turn and live. We don't want none of our brothers. I mean, our brothers and sisters, not all of us going to make it into the kingdom. Because some of us is going to choose death over life. But hey, all we want to do is spread the word and just ask, just put it out before people. Hey, the truth is really this. This is really a lie. If we want to make it to the kingdom, we got to do this, that, and this according to these scriptures. Let's change. Let's do what's right. Let's live. Let's run this world together, man. Because that's the end goal, whether we get in line or not. If none of us in this room won't do what thus said the Lord, the end goal going to happen regardless. We just not going to be in that number. He just giving you an opportunity to rule with him. I want all us to be in this number. I want to know people when I'm in it. So we're going to read Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 18 through 28. It says, just do the right thing, man. All this stuff is simple. It's up to us to actually to be obedient to the word, man. It's going to be hard doing it around all these heathens that's trying to influence you. If you're younger or if you're a kid, it's gonna be harder. When you're older, it's kind of easier. But you ain't got to deal with the matters. Or you done been around the block 8 or 9 times. You see the stupidity that's going on. But when you're young, it's gonna be a little tougher on you.
So Deuteronomy 11, verse 18. Therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes.
So hey, these words, hey, you put them in your heart, soul, mind. And what these words are, you got to read all of Deuteronomy. To read the whole Bible.
19. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So hey, a lot of us, we get caught up in spreading the word to other people and going to different cities. We got to start with square one. We got to do things decently in order first. Let's build up your own household. Imagine if everybody take care of their own kids and teach them their own kids the right from wrong. It'll be less work to do. It'll be like we slowly coming together gradually It's like cleaning up your own house. Everybody clean up your own house, you have a good neighborhood. Pretty much. That's what he's saying. Then once you clean up your house, teaching your kids what's right from wrong, that's when you start spreading out a little bit and change the world. But you gotta start with your own first. It's like practice. Practice makes perfect.
And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates.
Is these our commandments we read? So we supposed to have laws written on where?
The doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates.
I see laws right now. I see commandments right now on their wall in their house. So all praise to the Most High for them doing what Deuteronomy chapter 11 said. And really, you establishing rules and regulations when people come in your house. That's why you putting this at the front of your door. So hey, don't come in here thinking you're gonna break such and such. Or you just let them know what time it is when they come in your house. And he's saying we all should do that.
21. Then your days may be multiplied in the days of your children, in the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers to give you, as the days of heaven upon the earth.
So hey, things will go well for us if we be obedient. And that's what all we've been reading all day. It's really not a lesson to give groundbreaking news or groundbreaking revelation. It's more of a pep talk. More of a come together, re-energize, stay on the right page.
22. For if ye shall diligently keep all the commandments which I command you to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves.
So hey man, if we be obedient, we're gonna rule with Christ. We're gonna rule with the Most High on earth. That's the end goal. And these nations gonna have to be under our subjection. Because it ain't gonna be no we ruling in the Holy Land, y'all kicking it over there, y'all celebrating Easter, the United Nations are over there. Nah, we gonna be y'all gonna be under our subjection, under our rulership. That's why he's saying you shall possess greater nations, mightier than yourself. So hey, we gotta have a different mindset when we're reading the Bible. We gotta understand what we should be looking forward to when Christ returns. This ain't our land. We better than this. We mightier than this. We're actually rulers and leaders of this world. We gotta start acting like one. We gotta train these kids to, so when they get older, they'll be ready for these type of positions and these type of status. We not, quote unquote, NIGGAs and thugs, and bloods and crips. We rulers. We priests. We kings. We queens. We lowercase gods. We just ain't activate that yet. We here in the land practicing the rights and wrongs, so when the Lord see we got it right, we gonna have a spiritual body and we gonna get these titles. We gonna start actually doing these things. So we gonna catch hell in the meantime. Because the nations know who we are. And they jealous, they mad. So what we here?
24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. From the wilderness of Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be.
The world is ours, man. They gonna be under our subjection.
There shall no man be able to stand before you. For the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that you shall tread upon, as he has said unto you.
Believe it or not, when we keeping these laws, they're scared of us. It evokes fear. To the point where they try to force you to do stuff that you know you ain't supposed to be doing according to.
26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. But a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known.
So the same problem they had back in Deuteronomy, and the same blessings and curses that the Lord set before our forefathers, it's a generational thing. We all got to go through it. We can't force mom and daddy and your little brother and your little cousin into the kingdom. We all want them to go. We wish we could make them get the little same switch you had and turn your life around. But all we can do is pray for them, show them what thus say the Lord, and if they have questions, show them. And like I said, for every person, people got different characteristics or different ways of learning. You gotta learn these people and see how you can reach them. What's the best way to reach them? What's their aim? This dude might be a little more street. I come from a street background. I can relate to him that way. But then, bam, hit him with the word and show him you're an Israelite. This person might come from a different background. The point is, that's why we all come from different walks of life. We can relate to all our brothers and sisters in different paths. So,
Like important.
exactly. Even the Oprahs and the celebrities of the world, they are important. We don't hate our brothers and sisters because they got a little more money and they grew up in that wicked lifestyle. We grew up in a wicked lifestyle. We did just as much sin as them. But if we teach them and reach to them, now we got a whole different platform where they can reach other brothers and sisters that's in that way. And they can help back us financially to the point where we got more resources to spread the word. They was doing that in the New Testament. They was doing it in secret. People helping the disciples out secretly, giving them money. But it ain't, the point I'm trying to make is, hey, I want all my brothers and sisters, no matter where background you come from, to change and repent. Because we all in this walk together. We all love each other. It's bigger than one man. It's a unified work. And everybody can play their part. I want to just thank everybody for coming together. It was a beautiful lesson in Shalom, brothers and sisters.